This podcast is rated ES for extremely silly and may contain bad words, bad jokes, and other bad content that is not suitable for children. Or maybe it is. We don't know. We're not their parents. You are listening to the Starforge podcast with Scya and Mal, two nerds who have a lot to say about Star Wars: The Old Republic and all its features. Rest assured, the podcast is working as intended. This is episode 2. Spacebar, please. All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Mal.
Hey, everyone. I'm Scya.
And this is the Starforge podcast. And thanks to Scya, I know all about the Starforge and what that is now.
We had a lot of learning to do.
We did. Thanks for educating me.
I feel so bad. I'm like, you're just an ignorant noob. You don't know anything about Star Wars lore. You don't even know who Revan is. Excuse me, get off this Star Wars server,
I know who Revan is.
Ma'am.
I killed him. I'm a Revan.
Oh my god! She probably doesn't even know Revan could be a girl
cool
back
title.
then.
I don't know. He didn't throw me off the... I lived. I didn't go flying off the back with the aberrations.
You were I thought you were talking about like I killed Revan in the solo stuff. No, you're talking about hardcore Revan. You're talking about Revan from Temple of Sacrifice in veteran mode. Okay, you have my respect, Mal. You don't have my pleasure of sharing KOTOR knowledge, but you have at least my respect. We can start from there. How was your week other than murdering Revan, Mal?
My week was pretty good. We're having a mosquito problem here in New York right now. It's very strange. Because I'm like, I didn't move to a city to have to deal with fucking mosquitoes.
So you got like the little ankle biters or like the kind that are just everywhere?
And it's a problem. And apparently they'll give you West Nile virus here in the city. It's complete bullshit.
In New York.
But we had them in the house. And after I smashed one, it was a big freaking mess. And I read after that you can shoot them with Windex, and then they just fall to the floor, and you can get them with the vacuum. But I had one in the window when I was editing, and I was like, shoo away. I didn't get it. But what happened was it flew into a cobweb in the corner, and I was like, oh, I'll get it later. And then I looked up, and there's a spider in there just going to town.
So how do you feel about that spider being there? A-okay or get out of my house?
Spider is my bruh. Good, eat those mosquitoes.
Yeah, no kidding.
In my old house, I had a bathroom spider because we had an ant problem in our old place. We literally had a spider that lived in the bathroom and would eat all the ants.
Just one by one. It's like a little buffet. They just walk by and you're like, that one's not good enough. Oh, that's the one I want. Bring it up. My family has all kinds of funny little contraptions when it comes to mosquitoes. They've got like a assault shotgun that they got recently. They've got a little gun that's on a string and it's got like a fan in the front and you shoot it and it like smacks the mosquito out of the air. I caught my husband running around the kitchen with a fly swatter, trying not to accidentally hit the pan full of ramen noodles with it.
I mean, it could be salvaged. It depends on if he smacked the fly with it before it went in the food.
we were eating like kind of traditional ramen noodles, and he threw some cayenne pepper there on top, and he said, "Oh, I found the mosquito." Apparently, cayenne peppers are toxic to mosquitoes. So I guess he didn't need the fly swatter after all.
Well, that's good to know. Now I can, and sprinkle cayenne pepper around my windows.
Secret weapon there.
Whatever. Oh my God. I also had a man chase me a block down the street.
That's a different issue. What happened?
He was like, ma'am, wait. I was like, what? He's like, can I show you something? No. No. And then he looked at me and he was like, oh, okay. Like he was really surprised.
What was he trying to show you?
I have no idea. He had
you didn't stick around to find out?
No, he had a book with him or something. I was telling my husband. It was like a 200-page book. What am I supposed to do? You want me to just stand here in the street, read your 200-page manifesto?
That's so bizarre. Was it like a religious thing?
I don't know.
I don't know. When I'm in LA, if someone yells at me, stop, ma'am, that's when I start like booking it in the other direction. I'm good. Thank you.
It was busy. It's busy street.
No one's ever tried to show me a book, though. Lots of other things they tried to show me and sell me. But not books. I'll take the books. That's okay.
Yeah, I passed. Straight pass on that one. Straight pass.
So curious now. I know what it was.
What?
It was a complete rewrite of all 9 Star Wars movies.
Wow. It really slimmed it down.
You missed out.
Only looked like a 200-page book there.
They took out all the parts that they considered bad, and they just kept the good parts.
Yeah, maybe that would be about 200 pages then. Speaking of all that hate we're sipping on, I think that's going to bring us to our next segment.
My favorite part of the podcast.
Disappointing other people. All right, so this week's group topic, Flashpoints, doing them, queuing them, etiquette, and the great spacebar debate.
I have so many strong feelings about spacebar. I mostly just want to either take it off of my keyboard entirely just to prove a point to other people, and the rest of the time I just want to convert all of my other buttons to a spacebar, especially when I'm playing alone.
Yeah, so I do a lot of Flashpoints. I play a lot with my friend Vaz, who you know now because he is in the Thursday group with us. But
yes,
I would say 90% of my Star Wars time is spent with Vaz. So, hi, Vaz. We do a lot of Flashpoints. A lot of them now, we do master modes, just the two of us with companions, except the super challenging ones. But if we have to queue something, for galactic seasons or for some other reason, our etiquette is, if it is a veteran mode, they are allowed to watch the cutscenes. Because there's not...
You give amnesty?
We do.
You're a nice person. You give patience to new players. The hell is wrong with you?
If they're watching the cutscenes, we will for sure grumble about it. We'll go, oh, God.
Meanwhile, you guys are in voice chat, just the two of you.
We are. We complain all over voice chat. But you know what? We're like, okay, it's veteran mode. Not everything has a solo mode. Some people want to play the game. Let's not shit all over their good time.
Next time I see Vaz, I'm gonna be like, I didn't know you were such a good person. So when you queue up for Flashpoints, you can either go run solo, all by yourself, do whatever the hell you want. A majority of them have a solo mode now. You've got veteran, and veteran is where most of the rewards are, I would say, right? Because you've got Conquest is there, you've got Galactic Seasons is veteran mode. Why do you guys even queue up master mode? What are you guys doing? I believe
just the achievements, just to fill out the Flashpoint.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, we don't really need to queue the veteran ones for achievements. We just go mock those. Usually, just the two of us.
Yeah, you can technically solo those if that's what you're after. Yeah.
So we do let people watch the cutscenes in veteran. Master mode, no. If you're not space barring, I'm sorry. You've got a space bar in master mode.
So I know we talked last time that you run quite a few operations. Do you guys actually run Flashpoints in both veteran and master mode on a really regular basis? Is it a common thing for you guys?
Yeah, we do. We're trying to clean up a lot of our achievements. We're achievement junkies, and we always say, oh, we're not going to do it with the gear. Remember all the gear we got from you? We were like, we're not going to do it. We're not going to try to get all that gear before the X-Pack drops. And then last Thursday, he was like,
I'm so sorry.
Can I use that gear?
I'm so sorry.
Damn it. All right, we're doing this.
I got you guys hooked into the dark side of Star Wars. The dark side where you try and get achievements instead of actually playing. But then you actually get to play by chasing achievements.
We do. The biggest pain in the ass is the bonus bosses usually.
I had a lot of fun going after those for the first time, but so I play a little differently than you and Vaz. I either play with people that I know, but not necessarily super close friends, people who I know will at least be patient. And I very rarely venture into the Groupfinder at all, but I get a lot of messages about people who go into the Groupfinder, like, dear Swtorista, I had the worst thing happen today. Someone screamed at me in veteran mode because I accidentally aggroed one single mob. And I think that was kind of something that we wanted to talk about today, right? Was etiquette, what is and isn't okay. So you and Vaz like to let people watch the cutscenes on veteran mode. The few times I do run in veteran mode, I don't care what people do. I'm usually causing a hot mess in the background and pulling all the mobs and going the wrong way anyway. So if I'm not being patient, I'm being a huge hypocrite anyway. But I know it's kind of like a hot bubble topic for players in our game. Have you encountered people with a lot of different opinions on how you should be playing veteran modes?
I've seen it on the forums at least twice this week, of people having this debate about flashpoints. To me, it's not a debate. If you're in veteran mode, you have to expect that that's where the new players are, people who might be playing the story.
Hey, they can go run solo mode, though.
Not all of them have a solo mode.
That's true.
There's a couple, and they don't have a solo mode. And I don't know which ones have a solo mode and which ones don't, and I can't be bothered to find out. So blanket etiquette, if you're in a veteran Flashpoint, at least with me and Vaz, you can watch the cutscenes. We might complain about it a little bit to ourselves, but we would never be rude to that person. And in fact, and people do speak a lot about being bullied in these veteran Flashpoints. Oh no, I messed up. Oh no, I want to watch the cutscenes and they got mad at me. They wanted to kick me. Let me tell you what happens when we go and we see that third person bullying the fourth person about watching the cutscenes. Oh, vote kick. Vaz, how do you feel about kicking that person? Well, Mal, I feel great about kicking that bully out of this Flashpoint.
You got a built-in
We
majority
boot their
for your
ass and
votes.
whip
That's
out a
always nice
companion,
to
and we
have.
say, hey, person, you watch all the cutscenes you want.
You take your time. You do the bonus quest, honey.
You take your time, sweetie.
I've been having a hard time trying to decide what is the Groupfinder actually for. Like, when you queue up in the Groupfinder, it doesn't tell you what the goals of the Groupfinder is. You literally just say, I want to do Flashpoint. Yes. Veteran Flashpoint. Yes. And you do have the ability to like check yes or no, but there's no reason why the person who wants to speed run shouldn't go through the Groupfinder either, especially because there's extra, actually very tangible rewards attached to the Groupfinder. I've been telling people if they want to either see the Flashpoints slowly or if they want to speed run it, go make a group through general chat instead. Then you get what you want no matter what, but then you still don't get the rewards, which kind of sucks.
I mean, if you form a group and just queue for anything randomly, you'll still get the rewards, though.
Right. I guess maybe it takes longer. I don't know, man. I don't know why people who have a very strong opinion either way don't preform their groups. I haven't never figured that one out.
Yeah, you can preform a group and then just queue random with a full group. You'll still get all the rewards. You can still queue through Groupfinder if you're in a group.
Why don't all these people who are like, don't watch the cutscenes, why aren't they doing that? That's what I'd really like to know. That one I never found.
Because they're too lazy. They just want to press one button and go into Groupfinder and then just whine about all the other people.
But then you get stuck in there, and halfway through, Vaz and Mal boot you out, and you have to start over again anyway.
Lesson learned. Don't be such an asshole. People could be nicer. I saw someone on the forum the other day say that veteran players are either the nicest people you will ever meet or toxic, followed by a word that even I won't say on this stream right now.
Oh my dear Lord.
But that is absolutely the truth.
I mean, you have to be a certain kind of person to even queue up for veteran mode in the first place. We have a lot of players in this game that are like, I'm too scared to even touch group content, period. So they're just cut out of the equation altogether. Who's left? People who want to run with other people and don't really care how and don't really feel like they need to form up in a specific group. And people who want the rewards fast now, please. Like, I can't think of any other real types of people that would run through the queue on a regular basis.
I don't know. I guess if they wanted to complete the weekly rewards.
Yeah. And then I guess you're in there maybe like once or twice. You're not in there
I think
all
it's
the time.
5. I think you need 5 veteran flashpoints. Yeah, I think
5?
you need
Jeez,
5, and
that's
I
a
think
lot.
master mode needs 3. I don't know. We don't really do the weeklies. Like I said, we mostly just run them for the achievements.
Yeah, I've been running a lot of the weeklies, just not necessarily the Flashpoint ones. And then when I do queue up for those ones, I usually queue up with people who at least know that I will indeed cause a hot mess, aggro all of the mobs, forget which way to go, forget to not stealth out, forget to stealth out when I'm supposed to stealth out, all that stuff. They know what's going on. They take me for who I am.
I take you for who you are too, Scya.
Yeah, I know. You raid with me every week. You're well aware who I am.
Oh, God. Oh, I will say, though, that it does help in the Flashpoint if right off the bat, if the person who is new says, "Hi, I've never done this one before. Thank you." Because now I know. Okay, come with me if you want to live. Now I know.
Be my friend.
You don't know the skip. You don't know the way to go around. You don't know. You've already told me. Great. We can still skip stuff, but I will wait for you to show you the way.
For me, my big thing is if someone says hello, if someone communicates period in chat, that is my huge be all end all. I will be patient with you. It doesn't matter if you're new. It doesn't matter if you have to go catch your crying baby falling out of their crib. I will stick around for you if you say hello in chat. If you don't ever say anything, I'm like, you're not even a real person, are you?
It is odd, and I understand that some people, they're shy, they're scared. Just say something, because it's very frustrating for me when when we're wiping and I'm saying, and
you
saying,
don't say anything.
Do you know this one? I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just asking, do you need some instructions? And then crickets.
I think a small portion of it is people who may not have even realized they're queued up with other real people. They don't even know what the chat box is. I have a strong suspicion there is literally people like that in the Groupfinder that are like, hey, this box told me to queue up for Flashpoints. I run all my Flashpoints alone. Hey, cool. Look, you get 3 extra robots in this Flashpoint. Let's go. This is fun, but hard. But I think a lot of people are scared because they think... or maybe they've had an experience where this happened. I've heard people say this before. They say, I'm new, and then they get kicked out. Or they're scared to say, I'm new, because they'll be picked on or bullied. But most veteran players who are not crazy really want to know if someone's new. That's what I do when I run my open group operations. I say right away, is anyone new? It's okay to be new. Just, it helps a lot to know in the first place.
Yeah, it does. Just say you're new. If you kick them, then if someone kicks you, put them on your ignore, because ignore is legacy-wide now.
Insert the choir of angels.
It is the choir of angels. Oh, yeah. There's definitely a couple people. Wow. I was so happy for Legacy Ignore.
Insert the choir of angels to sing. So the way it works, so you used to be able to queue up with somebody. They were being a butthole, or one of those lovely words that Mal will not repeat on the stream. And they would just hop on another character. And there'd be no problems. The game didn't even recognize it. So now if you block them on one character, all 80 or whatever of their characters are blocked, and you won't get grouped up with them, at least for Flashpoints, right? I think for war zones, you still might.
Yeah, I believe for war zones, it's a free-for-all. But yeah, for other content, Groupfinder are ops and...
Hooray, hooray. I think I'm just about done talking about people who do and do not communicate, but I heard you have a little story about someone who really, really wanted to communicate with you, Mal.
This week in You Can't Make This Sith Up, calling for a cleanse when literally everyone in the group needs one. On a recent trip to veteran mode Dxun, a tight-knit group was forced to pick up a rando from the fleet, of all places, in order to raid. After spending the entire operation talking constantly, despite having no experience whatsoever in the zone, as the group approached Apex and began discussing Contagion cleanses, the guest vanguard DPS declared in all caps, "I will call when I need a cleanse." A healer in the group, whose name has been redacted but who might now be on a podcast, responded by telling him that at that point in the fight, everyone, in fact, needed a cleanse, and that he would be told when he would receive one. Her message was ignored by the rando, who continued to type, "Cleanse me," in all caps after every contagion, but refused to stand in the correct spot to be cleansed, resulting in multiple wipes. Perhaps that vanguard was confused about mechanics. Perhaps he did not know how to behave as a guest in a raid. Or maybe, in this reporter's opinion, he was just a f***ing idiot.
Mal, I really have something I need to tell you. I know we're on the last boss and we've been communicating this entire time, but cleanse me!
Scya, that's not what I do on that fight. That's why Sayuri wears Friend of the Frickin' Force.
She cleanses me all day, every day, and she calls it out for me. I love it so much I never have to ask for it. And if I'm asking for it, something has gone drastically wrong.
We love you, Sayuri.
We've talked a little bit about operations, flashpoints, and now we're going to talk about something solo.
Flying solo. All right, so for all you only lonely players out there, we are going to talk about gear. What do you need? What do you want? What's out there? What can you buy? What can you make? What do you even want to wear? Scya? What do you wear?
And do you even need to wear it at all? It's a really big question we wanted to touch on for this topic. What do I wear? I wear Fashion Space Barbie number 6012.
I heard that was a good model.
It's a good model until the next expansion, in which we throw it away and we start all over again anyway. So gearing up solo is a really weird topic in our game. If you're running high-end flashpoints, like Mal was saying, she likes to run master modes, you probably want to gear up. If you're running operations, you definitely want to gear up if you're doing the harder ones. But when it comes to solo content, a lot of the time, especially in this expansion, there's not really any point to it. Mal, did you want to talk about gearing up, especially at a low level to start with?
Yeah, gearing up at a low level is very, very confusing now because there are a lot of vendors on the fleet still, mod vendor and armoring vendors, and they all have different levels. And when the game first launched, that was very important because to get anywhere in the world, the cap was level 50. And it could be challenging when the game first launched and nobody knew anything about the game. You had to kind of get mods and stuff as you went along to get through the game. And now they're still there. And I think a lot of people are confused because they think that those are things that they need.
Yeah, so back in the day, the game, you leveled up a lot slower, so you'd actually be at a certain level for a longer period of time, and the game was actually harder. I do believe they scaled back some stuff because the idea was they wanted players to be able to focus on story, no matter their skill level, and be able to do the awesome epic class stories no matter what. But back in the day, there was a lot of quests where you actually needed to gear up when you were low level. If you didn't have enough gear, that class boss was going to kick your butt. And the heroics were actually something that you would often tackle while you're at a lower level just because your friend found this cool heroic 2+ or 4+. It was like, hey, come play. And you're like, I just got my trooper booty handed to me at level 32. And how do you gear up? Well, you would go see these vendors on the fleet, which are now kind of weird and kind of deprecated.
Yeah, or you would craft. I remember, if you knew you were going to level up, you would go craft your armorings and mods and enhancements.
Yeah.
They'd be lined up in my inventory, all grayed out. Oh, I'm about to level, and then I can put in all this new stuff I made. And these days, people, they're like, oh, I really need all these mods for level 45. Stop, don't. Because wait, what? Huh? Oh, look, now you're level 50.
Bless you. Welcome to Endgame.
It happens so fast now.
It's so weird. And you don't, even if you weren't leveling fast, you wouldn't need gear for the most part for anything you're going to encounter at a low level. So you've got all these different avenues that are still in the game. You've got the GTN. You've got those mod vendors in the supply section of the fleet. You've got a quite intensive crafting section that you can craft even now, even these days. And you don't need any of it. Mal, do you want to know what my record is before I geared up?
Sure.
My record was I got to level 42 naked until I had to go find some gear to put on.
Wow.
I'm very proud. At that point, I couldn't progress anymore, but I usually just tell people, don't. You don't need to gear up. Just wear whatever you pick up from your quests and stuff like that.
You don't even need it for some of the easy dailies at top level. Like sometimes I get lazy, especially if I'm going with Vaz, and I'm like, oh, I don't feel like getting my gear. Oh God, I'm on a character.
And this is right. You're playing multiple bunch of different characters, and they don't have their own gear
Well, no,
set yet,
I'll
right?
have the gear, but it will. I'm like, oh, it's over on Mal too, and I don't feel like swapping over to get it. So I did Zerka. I did Zerka just me and my level 7 companion, completely naked, no gear, not even a lightsaber. I was on a bound stage. I couldn't even do half the stuff. I had my little fists up, making punching motions.
Yes, I've been there because I forgot to transfer my gear, but I wanted to complete the
But
quest.
I did the whole thing. I did all the dailies and the weekly. Just completely naked.
So do you even need a gear at a high level? We've established you don't need it low level. What about it? What about at max level? This might change next expansion. Just we don't know what's going on there. But right now, it's kind of weird also at a high level.
It is weird. And if you're listening to this, stop spending money on gear. Stop it. Stop it right now.
Like, are you saying don't buy it on the GTN or don't buy it from the vendors?
Oh, well, I mean, if you're going for achievements and stuff like that, sure, buy the gear sets you need. But, God, I mean, especially if you're strapped for credits, if you're not swimming in credits, just don't craft those augments. Make money. Now's the time to make money for the X Pack, because usually when that happens, things are very, very expensive. Like when all this glut of gear and stuff we have now, when that first came to be, the market inflation was half of what it is now.
Nuts.
It was crazy. Well, and it was crazy. And now the market is crazy inflated. I mean, last year you could sell a hypercrate on Starforge for 300 mil. That was the price of a hypercrate. 300 mil.
What's it at now?
$1 billion. A bill.
Oh my God.
If you need money, use your cartel coins and buy a hypercrate and get yourself 1 billion credits.
No, don't listen to Mal. Get a master's datacron instead. That's a better credit value, but that's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about you don't need to go buy gear. I've had a bunch of people asking me, especially now as we're coming closer to an expansion, is it worth it to get things like my set bonus for level 75 from the vendors? What do you think if someone's brand new? Should they go and grab their set bonus? It costs 1 million credits and 3,000 tech frags per piece.
I guess it depends on what they're going to play. If you're looking to do ops seriously with a group, I think, yes, you need to make the effort to get the good set and not sandbag. I mean, at that point in hard mode, I don't think you need to go for purple augments if you don't have the funds and you don't want to spend the time crafting and all that. But at least get the right set bonus. I wouldn't go crazy, if your class has 2 viable set bonuses.
And then, so that's for ops. What about for someone who's looking to mostly run solo? Should they even bother going after a set bonus? Because solo, what are the hardest things you could run? You run dailies a lot of the time. Maybe you're running story chapters over again. You're running solo flashpoints. Like the hardest things I know of that you would actually might want to gear up for are the veteran mode and master mode chapters. Those suckers can be real hard. And the Eternal Championship, if you're trying to do it like for a fast achievement or something like that, that one can help a lot to have your gear. Other than that, I can't think of anything that you'd actually need gear for, period. Especially because so much boosts you these days.
There's not much that you really need it for in solo content. So at this point, if you don't feel like doing it, don't. Wait for the X Pack and see what that brings.
I've seen so many people crying, like, I just read somewhere that the set bonuses are going to be made obsolete and all my hard work is going to go away in the X Pack. And I'm like, yep, that's what happens. Every expansion, everything gets reset.
Welcome to SWTOR.
Welcome to MMOs in general. That's what happens.
This is the new X Pack. Everything you worked so hard for is now trash.
Straight in the garbage. Enjoy.
Throw it in the garbage. That was the worst blow when they dropped the X Pack coming off all the gear that dropped in Nightmare TFB, because we worked so hard to get, I think it was Kel Dragon? I don't know. Well, I forget what
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah, I never quite got
I
that.
never
I
got
didn't gear up as
shoes.
much.
I
during
think
that
about
X-Pack.
those shoes all the time. I never got the shoes. And then the X-Pack dropped.
And you'll never get them again. They're gone.
They're gone. Stupid shoes.
So gearing up at level 75 solo, probably not even worth it. You probably don't have to worry about it at all. Definitely beef up your companion, though. That sucker will get stronger than you. Forget the gear. Send out Kira.
Yeah, that's true. Although we do a lot with like a level 10 companion. Sometimes. It depends. That's another topic for another day. But I tell you what, in addition to the X-Pack, I have heard some other crazy news coming out of the SWTOR social media today. So I think it's a good time to talk about the news. You heard it here last.
Before we hop into the most interesting piece of news that we found, we've got events coming up. Will be Relics of the Degree running September 21st to 28th. Hopefully you'll be right in the middle of listening to this while it's happening. And on September 28th is going to be the last day of Galactic Seasons. Mal, were you able to finish up Season 1?
Yes, I did.
We talked about this last time, didn't we?
Yep.
You sucker. I just got rank 100 like yesterday. I'm so excited. I don't have to worry about it
Except
ever
for the
again
next season.
until Season 2. I keep getting asked when is Season 2, and the answer is next expansion. So we've got we don't know when next expansion is. It's holidays 2021 is the date. But we've got a chunk of change when it comes to time where we can just chill out and not worry about it at all. So that's going to be done. For the public test server, the Inquisitor has now been added to the public test server. So that's up for testing, along with the Jedi Sentinel was up there before, and so was the Imperial Agent. So now we're just waiting for the last class, the Trooper and Bounty Hunter. Did you get to test the Sork or the Assassin yet on the PTS?
No, I haven't had time to get on the PTS. So
I did a quick overview of it. I didn't actually go test it in game because there was something interesting they were supposed to add. They said in the forum post that they were adding game scaling. They didn't use the word level sync, which was really interesting. And there was no level sync previously. And they were saying, go try out game scaling. It should work in these places. And everyone was like, yeah, I'm still like level 80 and I'm going to level 10 planets and smashing everything into the ground. So I didn't really feel like testing it until that was figured out because that makes a lot more sense to wait until that happens. But yeah, it's looking okay. People seem to be giving some good feedback on the forums. I guess we'll see how that works, and I'll start my QQ crying once Trooper goes on the PTS. I'll let you know when that happens.
Yeah, we'll see. I've seen on the PTS forum some questionable things they're doing involving lightning, involving some of the choices you can make, and then it giving you a new skill instead of just changing what the skill you already have does. I'm not sure. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, it's just a general kind of idea that we'll have to choose between existing ones, and existing ones become a choice sometimes, or you choose between passives. The whole thing is very bizarre and very unlike anything we're doing right now. I don't think anyone's going to be particularly happy who's been actively playing when the change happens, but hopefully it will be still fun to play, and hopefully new players coming in enjoy the change and it balances out in the end.
I can't wait to not know how to play this game.
Woohoo! Hey, remember how we talked about all your set bonuses will be useless? Now all your knowledge of how to play your class will be useless too.
We'll all be on even footing. I can't wait. I love the first raid after an X-Pack, and you're all like, nobody has gear. You don't know what in the hell is even going on. What are my skills?
I can't tell if you're complaining about that or if you like that, because I genuinely love the gear and skill and everything reset. Every time there's a new expansion, I love when everything's just this huge mess and no one knows anything anymore. And anyone new starting is literally on even footing. They have an empty credit bank, but they have just as much gear as I do. And I just have such a hoot figuring it all out with everyone.
I do think that part is a hoot. The part I don't think is a hoot is I don't want to just have to relearn all this stuff. Like, oh, my whole rotation is ruined. You know, you get it so perfect. You're like, yes, I'm enlightening now. I'm finally doing Elros numbers on lightning. I'm getting 55 APM. I'm fast. I'm so fast.
Finally taking advantage of that 1.3 global cooldown. Yes.
And
now you're going to be slow like a turtle again. Congratulations.
I'll be Mal again. I won't be Elros.
Today is the Name Drop podcast where we name drop everyone in our wonderful raid groups.
I can't help it though. That's how I relate a lot. I've been playing with the same people for like 7 years.
That's what happens when you like the people you play with instead of random Flashpoint bozos. So we did get a piece of news that is concrete, is something that's happening now, and that's a screenshot contest, and we're going to talk about what we think about it after.
Why? Tell me how you feel about it now. This is the news.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing because you were doing Vogue in the video, and I can see you doing it.
I'm doing pictures. I'm taking screenshots.
No, that's Vogue. Oh yeah, do it. So Star Wars: The Old Republic, the devs, not like fans or anything like that, are hosting a contest, and it's a screenshot contest. It's going to end October 5th. If you want to go enter it, there are some quite strict rules, and you'll be able to see those, my summary in the podcast notes, and a link to the actual description. But what's interesting about this contest is the winners. There's going to be 10 winners, one for each of the planets that they listed. Their screenshot will be made into a decoration in-game. And that's something they've never done before. We don't have a single thing in the entire game that's like player created. So very unique. But screenshots aren't something everybody cares about, nor are decos. How do you feel about that one?
I mean, I'm not really a screenshot taker.
That was the best word you could come up with.
I'm not a photographer.
There you go. So you're not going to be entering this one.
I'm a cranky veteran. I run through my dailies as fast and grumpily as possible. And then I log out and watch TV.
Well, now you can log in, take screenshots, and watch TV at the same time if you want to enter this contest. I don't think the prize is anything that you'd want either. The prize is also interesting. Like for me, when I'm expecting a prize, I'm expecting like win 5,000 cartel coins or something like that. But the prize is it's something that would be more valuable than that, or like completely worthless depending on a player. So the prize is the person who wins gets a one-of-a-kind decoration that's going to be their screenshot, but it comes with a gold border, and no one else gets that in the entire game. Is that something you would care about to win?
The decoration is not distributed. It's just for that person personally.
So the way it's going to work is, so let's say I take the winning screenshot for Tython. My winning screenshot will be available to everyone as a deco, but just me, because I'm the most special screenshot taker in the galaxy, I get a version with a gold border that no one else will get.
First of all, I'd like to say you called yourself a screenshot takerer after what I said. You're like, is that the best word you could come up with, Mal?
It's called a callback.
Well, I'm sorry I didn't come up with takerer. But anyway...
You tried. You could have if you wanted to.
No, honestly, if it's a decoration, I get it has a cool gold border, but everybody else can also have it. I do think that's pretty cool. Like, hey, that's the picture I took, and now it's a decoration for a stronghold.
Yeah.
Honestly, I do think that's pretty cool.
I was like, I don't even need the gold border thing. The gold border thing, I don't even know if I care about that at all. But I was like, oh, that's my screenshot y'all are putting in your house. That's cool. Just to be able to call dibses on that item in game. Like, oh, I'm so good. Mine was picked and now it's in everybody's house. Look.
That is pretty cool. Well, I don't know if I'm going to run out and become a takerer of screenshots. But, that is cool. I might think about it. We'll see.
Well, you've got until October 5th to figure that one out, and so does everyone else. Another thing I'm curious about is if they actually get a lot of entries. So when they posted the contest, I was trying to look through the rules, and I was like, how the hell do you enter? Where's like the submit screenshot button? And because their website's from like 2008, I'm not even joking. The game came out in 2011, but their site hasn't changed since then. You email your screenshot in. So what's an email? So yeah. That's
you're gonna get in your email with your Kodak camera, and I'm gonna take a picture of Tython.
I think you got it down pat. I think you understand what's going on. I think you're gonna win this one. So I was curious how many people are actually gonna bother entering, because there's a lot of rules. Like you can't just submit any old screenshot. Like can't be in a cutscene, can't be a player character or another player's character in there. And you can't just fast
because if your player characters could be in it now, that would be some funny shit you could put in your stronghold. I'm
now imagining all the screenshots that you guys are taking. No, it has to be like a scenery. You can't do any funny stuff. No, you can't have your nameplate showing and you've got your Jedi with big bad these nuts. A nameplate showing. No, it's got to look like SWTOR or you're not going to be picked. Sorry, it's not a random winner either.
Yeah, it's a legit contest. I think that's fun. Some people really have a great knack of finding really cool looking places and appreciating all the scenery that SWTOR has to offer. So I'm keen to see who's got some good pictures.
Yeah, so I hope it's okay to share. So while this contest is running, I'm also going to be doing a little mini contest every day with similar rules on my Twitter. So if you don't think you're going to win here, come submit on my contest, a different planet each day. And I've been really amazed at some of the screenshots people were submitting already. My first one was Alderaan, and I kind of assumed everyone would just submit a screenshot of like one of the Alderaan castles and call it a day. But no, the planets are big enough and there's a vast enough area to explore that you can get some really, really beautiful, well-timed stuff going on. Like people were taking pictures of when waiting for the Thranta to fly by, of the different vistas, and it wasn't all the same screenshot. Like some places like Oricon, like I feel like everyone would just take a picture of the big temple castle at the end. Like what else is there to take? But I think the planets that they picked are big enough that we're gonna have a wide variety of screenshots. By the way, if you guys go take screenshots of Tython, don't take it up just the Jedi Temple, because there's already a painting of the Jedi Temple decoration in the game. I'm assuming they probably don't want to double that one up.
Yeah. That's good advice. I'm going to go to Ziost. It's beautiful there. Have you ever been?
Oh, so scenic. The colors during sunset. Mwah. I'm not a connoisseur. I'm just a screenshot taker.
Just the gray on gray. Light gray on dark gray. On burnt out trees. Ashen bodies. A beautiful place.
On that note, I think we're going to leave you all with those somber thoughts of Ziost and head this podcast off for the night.
Good night, sweet audience. Parting is such sweet sorrow.
Ah, how we knew you well. Bye. You've been listening to the Starforge podcast with Scya and Mal. We know you have your choice of podcasts, and you chose the right one. For show notes and other information, visit starforgepodcast.com and hit us up on Twitter at StarforgeCast. We'd love to hear from you. Listen in with Google or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or on Swtorista's YouTube channel. New episodes drop every Friday, so mark your calendar and come join the party. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week. I caught Mr. How do I call my husband on here? Clap. Hang on. It wouldn't be Mr. Swtorista because I'm Scya on here.
Just say my husband.
I'll just say my husband, I guess. Sorry.